Hello friends, today is the day 3 of the Python series. So today we are going to learn, and this is the index of the day 3. We will learn today Python variables, assigning values to the variables, multiple assignments, a standard data types introduction. Okay, like see there are 5 standard data types in the Python basically. That is numbers, string, list, tuple and dictionary, and these are the important data types in the Python, that is numbers, string, list, tuple, dictionary. Okay, and then in the last we will learn then how we can do that data type conversion, means one data type to another data type, how we can convert the values. Okay, so let's get started. At the first we will learn Python variable. Variables are nothing but reserved memory location to store the values. This means that when you create a variable, you reserve some space in memory. Like see, if you want to store something, like if you're having one bag and you can put anything in the bag, right? And a bag is in bag, some means a space is there and some memory is there. There you can store. If once the bag is full, you can't able to store, right? Similarly, means variables are nothing but reserved memory location to store the values. In variables we are storing the values, means different types of values. Like see, if you are storing in bag or in some cover is there, you can storing something. Okay, so if once that space is full, you can't able to store. Okay, similarly means some reserved memory is there, right? In the variables, there we can store the some values. Okay, that means this means that when you create a variable, you reserve some space in memory. Means whenever you are creating one variable, you are occupying some space or some memory. Okay, like just now I given the one example. Means if bag is there, in bag some space is there and you are putting something. Okay, and then those things are taking the space of the bag. Similarly here also in means programming language, when you create a variable, you reserve some space in memory. Okay, based on the data types of a variable, the interpreter allocates memory and decide what can be stored in the reserved memory. Therefore, by assigning different data types to variables, you can store integers, decimals and characters in these variables. Based on the data types basically means our interpreter, means who is running our programs. Okay, our means Python interpreters are going to allocate the memory based on the data types. We will learn means in next section what is data type. Okay, decides what can be stored in the reserved memory, and that is based on the data type. Means we are our interpreter allocates the memory and decides what can be stored in that reserved memory. Okay, assigning values to variables. Python variables do not explicit declaration to reserve the memory space. The declaration happens automatically when you assign a value to a variable. The equal sign is used to assign the values to the variable. Means see, whenever means you are declaring the variable. Okay, Python is not going to explicitly reserve some space or some memory. Okay, whenever you are assigning some values to the variable, then only Python is going to allocate the some memory for your variable. Okay, or reserve the some space, memory space. Okay, in the left side of the equal to operator, left side operand is known as the variable, and the right side of the equal operator, that operand is known as the, means you can store the values or values known as the values. Okay, example, see, like counter is there. Okay, counter is the left side operand and equal is the operator, and right side operand is value. Means counter is the variable, counter is equal to 100 means counter, we are assigning 100 to the counter. Okay, this is nothing but an integer assignment. We are assigning the integer to the counter. Similarly here 1000.0 means we are assigning the floating point to a variable, that is miles. This is the miles is the variable name. Okay, similarly name is equal to John. We are assigning John to the name. Name is a variable. Okay, then when we do print counter, okay, then it will going to print the counter is equal to means 100. It will print miles, it will print 1000.0, and print name, it will print John. We can see example also, don't worry. Firstly we will see the theory. Okay, here 100, 1000.0 and John are the values assigned to counter, miles and the name variables respectively. This produces the following result: 100, 1000 and John. Okay, so let's move to the our means Visual Studio Code. Okay, we can create one new file. Okay, test2.py. okay, here we will write all the examples, okay, which we seen previously for the assigning the variables or variable examples. Okay, firstly what was there? Counter is equal to 100. Okay, and then miles is equal to 1000.0, and then name is equal to some Python. Okay, like this. Then counter is what here? Basically counter is here an integer that we are assigning to a counter variable. And here what we are doing? We are assigning a floating point. We are assigning a floating point to a miles. Similarly here we are assigning one string. Okay, so if whenever we are assigning, then only means our interpreter is going to allocate the memory for that particular variable types. Like see, when we are not assigning this value, then our interpreter don't know whether means it is a string or whether it is a floating point or whether it is a integer. It is not going to know, our interpreter. So whenever we are putting the values, then our interpreter knows that it is assigning the string literals. Okay, then our interpreter is going to assign based on that data types. Like see, if we assign the 1000.0, then at that time floating point, it is a floating point, means our interpreter is going to assign the value, means assign the memory based on the floating point. Okay, similarly here we are assigning the integer data type. Then whenever we are assigning at the right operand of the equal operator, okay, then at that time means interpreter is going to assign allocate some memory for that integer data type. Okay, means whenever we are assigning the value, then only our interpreter is going to assign the memory for our variables. Okay, now we will print this one, print counter. Okay, and then print miles, and then print name. Okay, okay, now I am going to run this program. Click here, run Python file. Now you can see here, in first we got 100. In second, as the output, we got 1000, and third, we got Python as the output. Okay, so now we move to the next section. Okay, here multiple assignment means we can assign the multiple values to a variable. Like see, Python allows you to assign a single values to the several variables simultaneously. For example, a is equal to b is equal to c is equal to 1 means we can assign the multiple values to to different variables also. Okay, and here we can assign the different values to the different variables. Here an integer object is created with the value 1, and all three variables are assigned to the same memory location here. Okay, you can also assign the multiple object to the multiple variables. Like see here, a, b, c are the three different variables, and 1 to John is the three different values. Okay, we can see example of this also. Let's go to the Visual Studio Code and see here. I am taking a, b and c. Okay, and assigning three different values like 1, 1.1 and Python. Okay, and then here we can assign the one same value, like d is equal to e is equal to e f. Okay, is equal to 1. Then we are going to print those values. Print a, c. Okay, and then print d comma e comma f. Okay, let's run our program. You can see here we got the output as of this one, ABC 1, 1.1 and Python as the output. Okay, means we are assigning the three different values to the three different variables, and here we are assigning one value to the three different variables. Okay, so we are getting 111 for every variables as the output. Okay, so move to the next section. Here is the standard data types. Basically, what is data types? Means we are storing the different types of things in the bag, right? Like that only, means we are storing the different values in our variables. So like see, number is there, name is there. Okay, and for both name and numbers we can assign in the list tuples like this. Okay, so in numbers we are basically assigning here all the integer data types. Okay, and in string we are storing the string, and in list and tuples we can store anything. Okay, in dictionary also. So the data stored in the memory can be of many types. For example, a person age is stored as the numeric value, and his or her address is stored as the alphanumeric characters, and that is comes under the string. Okay, Python has various standard data types that are used to define the operation possible on them and the storage method for each of them. Python has 5 standard data types. Basically, these are the 5 standard data types. So we are going to cover here only the introduction, and in later section, in day 3 or 4, means day 4 or 5, we will learn in depth. Okay, all the data types. So don't worry, here we will cover only the introduction part of these 5 data types. Okay, so move to the next slide. Number data types. Number data types store numeric values. Already I said Python numbers. Python numbers is only storing the numeric data types, numeric values. Numbers objects are created when you assign a value to them. For example, var1 is equal to 1, var2 is equal to 10. Okay, you can also delete the reference to the number object by using the del statement. This syntax of the del statement is this one. Okay, when you want to delete this particular variable, then you can use the del var1. Okay, and del var2, del, like that. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, you can, so we can see in the practicalize the example also. You can delete a single object or multiple objects by using the del statement. For example, del variable, del var a, var v, like this. Okay, so firstly we will see the Python numbers. Now open the Visual Studio Code and then create one new file. From here also you can create test3.py. Now here we will take var1 is equal to like 1, var2 is equal to, okay, we can print var1 and print var2 on this file. Okay, 1 and 10 you got as the output. Now if you want to delete this variable, then you can simply use delete like var1. Okay, and then run. You can right click and run Python file in terminal also you can do. Okay, after this, if you want to print var1, then it will not going to print because it is going to delete. See, var1 name error, name var1 is not defined. Did you mean var2? We are getting this error after 1 and 10 printing. This is because we already deleted the var1. Okay, similarly you can delete the var2 also. That's it for this. Okay, now we are moving to the next section. Different numerical types. Python supports 4 different numerical types. Okay, int, long, float, complex. Int is also known as the signed integers. Long integers. They can also be represented in octal and hexadecimal. Floating points point real values, complex numbers. Means complex is the mix of real and imaginary number. Okay, so here example, and here are some examples of the numbers: int, long, float, complex. Int is a simple integer type. Okay, either it is a decimal. If decimal, then it is in the float. If it is a complex, then it is a real plus imaginary. Okay, and in long, with the means in long is containing the hexadecimal and the octal. Okay, and L is represented with the long data type, or a small l or capital L. You can use anyone. Okay, note, Python allows you to use a lowercase l with the long, but it is recommended that you can use only an uppercase l to avoid the confusion with the number 1. Python displays long integers with uppercase l. Okay, we can use the small l also, but it's better to use the capital L only. That is the recommendation in the Python. A complex number consists of an ordered pair of real floating points number denoted by x plus by j. Means this is the real number, this is the imaginary number in the complex number. Okay, where x and y are the real numbers and j is the imaginary unit. J is the imaginary one. Okay, then let's move to the Python strings. Strings in Python are identified as the continuous set of the characters represented in the quotation marks. Python allows for either the pair of the single or double quotes. Means we can create the string within the single quote or double quotes also. Subsets of the string can be taken using the slice operator. Means if you want, if so many strings are there, if you want particular strings, then you can use the slice operator with indexes starting at 0 in the beginning and of the string and working their way from -1 at the end. Okay, the plus sign is the string concatenation operator and the asterisk is the repetition operator. Means whenever you are using the plus sign, then you are going to add the two strings, and when you will use the asterisk sign, then you can multiply the strings. Means you can repeat the strings. Okay, you can see here one example. Okay, string str is equal to hello, print str, then it is going to print the hello world. If you will print the str of 0, then it will print only h. Okay, you can see here it will print only h. And if you will print the str of 2 and 5, then 2 is the including and 5 is the excluding. 2 is including and 5 is excluding. We will see an example also. Let's move to the Visual Studio Code only. That will be better for us. Open the Visual Studio Code. Okay. Then here we can delete these things. See, str is equal to hello world. Then print str. Okay, it will print str hello world. Okay, then if you want to print particular like str of 0th index, means string is going to save it with index wise, like 0th index, at 1 index. It is h is stored at the 0 index, e is stored at the 1 index, l is at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then if you want to print at the 0th index, then it will give you a h as the output. Okay, you can run and see you got the output as h. Now similarly we can print str of like say 2 colon and 5. We are using here slice operator. Okay, slice. Now run this. Then here 0 0 1 2 means including L, okay, and excluding 5. 0 1 2 0 1 2 3 4 and 5. 5 we are going to exclude. Then LLO we got as output. Okay, similarly we can print str of 2 colon. Okay, then here what we will get, 2 is the including and excluding is not defined. Okay, then it will print from the third character like 0 1 and 2 means from third. Okay, and then if you will run from here to all means run here, see LLO bold because we didn't define here the excluding. Okay, then you can print str and we are using the asterisk operator now into 2. Now it will print the 2 times hello world, hello world, hello world. Okay, similarly you can use the concatenation operator also, like print str plus str, then it will print, you can add one more str. Okay, it will print 3 times hello world. You can say hello world, hello world, hello world. Okay, okay, that's it. Next, let's move to the next section. Python lists. Lists are the most versatile of the Python's compound data types. A list contains items separated by the commas and the enclosed within the square brackets. Versatile of Python compound data types means you can store here string data types, even the long data types, even the means numbers means you can store the numbers, integer numbers, you can store here numbers, string, all types of data types you can store in the lists. Okay, a list contains items separated by commas and the enclosed within the square brackets. Okay, to some extent lists are similar to arrays in C. One difference between them is that all the items belonging to the list can be of different data types. Means in list you can store the different data types also. The values stored in the list can be accessed using the slice operator. You can use here also slice operator, including and excluding. Okay, with indexes starting at 0 at the beginning of the list and working their way at the end of -1. Thus plus sign is the list concatenation operator and the asterisk is the repetition operator, similar to the string. Okay, these all things. See one example like this: list ABCD 7 8 9 2.3, like this. This is the list. Okay, and this is the tin list like 1 2 3 and John. Okay, then we are printing the list, print list, then it will give what is output, it will display all the things. Okay, like see here is the result. If you print the tin list, then it will give the 1 2 3 and John only. Okay, similarly if you print the 0th index, then 0th index is ABCD like this. Let's move to the Visual Studio Code and we will see there only. If you want to clear the console, then import OS and then os.system and then CLS, and if you will run this console will clear. Okay, now remove this. Then we can define here list is equal to, we can define here in the square bracket like ABCD, comma, we are separating the list value with the comma. Okay, like 786 2.23. okay, and then again something like Python 80. okay, like this. Then we are going to print it. Print firstly list, then it will going to print the whole list. See, it is going to print whole list. But if you want to print the at the 0th index only values, okay, then you can print that also, like print list of, if you want to print at the 0th index, then put here 0. Now run, you will get only ABCD as the output. Okay, similarly you can print index 1, 2, okay, at 0th index ABCD, at 1th index 786, and second index 2.23. see, okay. Now you can use here slice operator, slice also. Okay, print list on like say 2 colon, and then print list of 1 colon 3, like this. Okay, then here it is going to print 2, and then it is including only defined, and excluding is not defined. Then to include 0, 1, 2. From here to infinite means we didn't define the exclude, so it is going to print all after here. Okay, 0, 1, 2 means after here all it is going to print. If as many as means as many are there in the list, it is going to print all the ones. Okay, and here 1 colon 3 means it is going to start from 0, 1, from here to third 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. okay, then 3 it is going to exclude, then only 1 and 2 it is going to print. See here is the output. You can see here for this this one and this one. Okay, and for this after 2.23 all the characters, all the inputted values. Okay, it is going to print. Okay, that's it for the list. You can use here concatenation also, like see, if you can define one, like see, you can define here one more list, like tiny list is equal to like 1, 2, 3, and then Java. Okay, and then here print list plus tiny list, and then when you will print, it will going to print all the things. Java is not defined. Okay, we have to put in the quote. Okay, then it will going to identify as the string. So run, and you can get the output. See, it is concatenated both tiny list and list. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and Java in the tiny list, and so we got as the output 1 to 3 plus Java. Okay, and that's it for the list. And now we will move to the next section. Then Python tuples. A tuples is another sequence data type that is similar to the list. Tuples is similar to the list. A tuple consists of a numbers of values separated by commas. In list also we separated the values with the help of commas only. Unlike list, however, tuples are enclosed within the parentheses. Unlike lists, however, tuples are enclosed within parentheses. In list we seen that we are including in the square bracket, but here we are not going to include in the this square bracket. We are enclosing in the parentheses. Okay. The main difference between the list and tuples are list are enclosed in the brackets and their elements and size can be changed, while tuples are enclosed in the parentheses and cannot be updated. Tuples can be thought of as read-only list. Means we can't change the value of the tuples. Once we are defined the tuples, we can't change the values. In tuples also we can use the slicing, like tuple including excluding, using slice in the tuple. Okay, we can see here one example. Tuple, we define one tuple, okay, with the in the parenthesis. Okay, and then one teeny tuple, okay, similar to the list. And then print tuple, it will print the whole tuple, and then print of 0th index, then 0th index it will print, and print of 1:3, then it will print the 0, 1, 1 and 2, 3, means these two only it is printed. Okay, like this only you can do with the tuples also. And then we move to the some other examples, like the flowing code is invalid with the tuples because we attempted to update a tuples, which is not allowed. Similar case is possible with the list. See, if you want to update the value, we can move to the again in Visual Studio. Let's move to the Visual Studio Code. Like you can see here, delete all these things. Okay, tuple, we can define here A, B, C, D. Okay, then anything 786, 2.23, Python. Okay, like this. And if you want to print the tuple, then you can simply do like this and you can print. Okay, you will get the output. Okay, and then you can do here concatenation also, like mini tuple is equal to, like you can write something Java here and then 5, 4, 6 like this. Okay, and if you want to add both of them, then you can similarly you can do with like the list tuple plus mini tuple. Okay, and then run. See here you can concatenate both tuples and mini tuples, means you can do the concatenation in the tuple also. Okay, and then but you can't update the value in the tuple. That is the main drawback of the tuples. And you can update the value in the list. Like see, I am defining one list also here. Okay, in the list we can define like Java and then 4, 5, 6. And if you want to update this list, then you can easily update, like see list of, see you can update the value also, list of 0th index is equal to, like if you want to update as the Python, then you can easily update, like once print here, print list, and once again you can print here list. Then you can see that here it will print the Java and 456, and here it will print Python 456. Run. See here, you can see here Java 456 and Python 456. It is printed, means it updated the value, but you can't update the value in the tuples. Let's see. Like we printed the tuple here, okay, and then if you want to update the value in the tuple of 0th index, like, okay, and then you can put something like here program, okay, and again we can print the tuple. And run this program. You can see the type error. Tuple object does not support the item assignment. Means you can't update the value in the tuple. Okay, but you can update the value in the list. Okay, that's it. Let's move to the next module. Python dictionary. Python dictionaries are kind of hash table type. They work like associative arrays or the hashes found in the Perl, and they consist of the key values pairs. A dictionary key can be almost any Python type, but are usually numbers or strings. Values, on the other hand, can be any arbitrary Python object. Means it is saying, means in Perl key value pairs was available, but a dictionary key can be almost any Python type. Okay. A key is always a Python type, data types, okay, but are usually numbers or string, but generally it is numbers or strings. Values, on the other hand, can be arbitrary Python object. Values can be a object, okay. Dictionaries are enclosed by the curly braces, okay, these curly braces we are using, okay, and values can be assigned access using the square bracket, okay. You can use the access the value with the help of a square bracket. Let's see the example. Okay, dictionary, okay, it is a empty one. Dictionary dict 1, you can assign here this is 1, then it is going to print as this is 1 only. Dict 2, this is 2, it will print this is 2 only. Teeny dict, you are taking a small dictionary where name, John, code, this one, department, cell, and it will print whole as the teeny dict when you will print it, okay, and like here you can see, okay, and then here when we will print the teeny dict dot keys, then it will print the only the keys like name, code, and department. Basically here see dict, code, and name, it is printing, okay. Similarly, you can print all the values, teeny dict dot values, then it will print the values only, you can see here. But in dictionary means elements are not going to in the order, it is the out of order. Dictionary have no concept of order among the elements. It is incorrect to say that the elements are out of order, they are simply unordered, okay. We can see the example also of the dictionary, you can see here. Move all this thing. Okay, then type here, like see I defined one dictionary, okay, that is empty, and then dicto like 1, and then this is 1, and dict of 2 is equal to this is 2, okay, dict of let's take one teeny dictionary here, teeny dict, okay, and then within the curly braces we can put the like name, this is the key and value, like again in the John JOHN, and again another key. Okay, we can take the code that is also a string, and then value, like you can give the number also 58856 like this, and then again you can take one department as a string. Okay, and then sales like this. Okay, now let's print it. Print tiny dict and print that this one dict. Okay, 1 dict 1, actually dict 1. Okay, similarly we can print the dict 2 also. Print dict 2. Okay, and run this program. See here, tiny dict, we printed the whole tiny dict, and then this is 1, this is 2. Okay, similarly we can print the key only and values, like see, print tiny dict dot keys only, and then print tiny dict dot values. Okay, and then run this program. Here you can get the all the names, all the keys, and here you can get the all the values. Okay, like see, name is name, code, and dict is the keys, and values are the John 856 and sales. You can get at the output. Okay, so let's move to the next section. Data type conversion. Sometimes you need to perform the conversions between the built-in types. To convert between the types, you simply use the type name as the function. Means you can there is at several times means there is requirement to convert from one data type to the another data type. At that time, this built-in function is going to help you. Like see, int x base. Okay, convert x into an integer. Base specifies the base if x is a string. Okay, long x converts x to a long integer. Base specifies the base x is a string. Similarly, it will convert to the float. Converts x to the floating point number. Okay, similarly you can create the complex number also. Okay, similarly convert object x into the string representation. You can convert any object into the string also. Here represent x, it can convert object into the expression string. Similarly, eval string evaluates a string and returns an object. Tuple s converts s to a tuple. List s converts s to a list. Set s converts s to a set. Okay, similarly dict d creates a dictionary. D must be sequence of the key value tuples. Similarly, frozen set s converts to a frozen set. Char x convert an integer to a character. Unichar converts an integer to a Unicode character. Converts as ordx converts a single character to an integer value. Converts an integer to a hexadecimal hex string. Okay, converts an integer to an octal string. Let's see some example of this built-in function. Okay, we will convert some values into the float. Okay, let's see. Let's move to the Visual Studio Code. Okay, here like see s is equal to put something value like 4 5 6 7 8 something. Okay, and then if we want to convert it into the integer, the int, and then print s, and what you want as the base, then I can put 2. Okay, and then print c and then run. You can get this. Okay, invalid literal for int with base 2. Actually it is saying that it is a invalid literals at the base 2. So I am going to add 10 and then run. Then it will give the correct output. Okay, and then similarly e is equal to like we can convert it into the some float. A B C D is equal to like we can convert this string into the float also, float of s, and then float is not taking any other as the base. Okay, only int is taking as the base, float is not taking any base. So we can directly run here. We can print also print of d and then run. See, we can get the float as the it is going to convert a string into the float. Here it is converting string into float, and here converting the string into int. Okay, see here. Okay, like this you can convert all the means with the help of the built-in data built-in function. You can convert with this only, you can convert with the help of the built-in function. There are several built-in functions like this you can convert. That's it for the day 3. Thank you. We will meet in day 4.